Hey guys, this is Zach.
Oh, that's what you do?
Yeah?
You just do that?
Yeah.
I'm not even ready yet.
It's already filming.
I'm not ready.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
I don't know. You didn't even say like 3, 2, 1, camera, go or something. Am I supposed to look directly at it?
Yeah, look at the lens.
What if I'm not good at that?
You'll be fine.
How do you do this?
Hey guys, this is Zach with Next Tech News, and this is my fiance Jessie, and today we're going to be reviewing / talking about, but whatever. This is kind of a talk about her iPhone 10, and what the main purpose of it was I wanted to get a more realistic perspective of an iPhone 10. Obviously, you've heard from plenty of tech reviewers and stuff like that, their opinions of it, but guess what? The normal consumer, which is what Jessie is right here, is they'll have different opinions than us techie people. So let's move on to that. We can just move on to it now.
Don't talk to me like I'm one of them.
Don't talk to you like you're one of them.
No, I'm me.
Okay. So what do you like about your iPhone 10, Jessie?
I only like one thing.
You like one thing? What's that?
I can't be serious.
That's fine.
This is not normal. How do you look at it and talk?
Don't worry about the it's just a camera. It's not like you're sitting in front of an audience. So do you like your iPhone 10?
I think it's pretty.
You think it's pretty?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else do you like about it?
It's a perfect size.
It's a perfect size, okay.
Yeah, it's not too wide and it's not too tall, but it's not like too skinny or too short.
Do you have any issues like reaching anywhere on the screen or anything like that?
I mean, my hands are little, so sometimes that's with every phone, but...
What do you think of Face ID?
I don't like it.
You don't like Face ID? Why not?
It's not dependable.
It's not dependable. Okay. So, like, when you go to use it, it just doesn't work every time, or it's just slow, or what?
Well, first off, you have to have, you can have one eye open. It doesn't, just because both eyes are closed, if you try to do one eye, it still opens it. That defeats the purpose, I feel like. Both eyes aren't looking at it.
So you'd prefer if it has to have both eyes looking
open.
at it to initiate it?
See, look, watch, we'll do it.
Okay.
See, it unlocks it.
Okay.
And you swipe up.
And just since you guys couldn't see, she had only one eye open at that time.
But I don't like it when I'm like laying in bed and like my pillow squishes my face, because then when I do it like that and I'm like looking on my, like to do like that, it doesn't read my face right. It thinks I'm something else. So it like vibrates and it shakes and it tells me to try it again.
Okay.
So I have to lift my head up to do it, and I don't want to have to do that.
You don't want to have to move or change what you're doing in the
lazy.
day. I mean, that's understandable.
In bed. I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, a fingerprint scanner would obviously just open regardless of
no matter
what you're doing.
And then I also don't like when you have to do the face, like sometimes like, okay, so like I'll do the Face ID and I'll be on it and I'll be using it and whatever. And then like I'll lock my screen and I'll put it down for just a few minutes. And if I come back up, sometimes it doesn't read my face right and it like shakes it and it'll go, you have to put in your PIN to use Face ID. But I was just using Face ID like 5 minutes before. Why do I have to put in my PIN 5 minutes later to use Face ID? Almost as if you've restarted your phone and it's asking for you to do that to prove that you really are you.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but I don't like that. It bothers me.
That sounds similar to they had like a fail on the stage when they announced the iPhone 10. The guy went to go look at it and it failed and he had to type in his PIN and then he had to lock it and do it again. But they were saying that's because of people behind stage accidentally setting it off. But I don't see, like, if it was face down, why that would do that. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, it didn't. It just does that every now and then. So no, I don't like Face ID.
Speed-wise, when it does work, how much faster or slower is it compared to, like, fingerprint scanner that you've used to?
Slower.
Slower? Okay, so even when it does work well, it's still slower.
Yeah.
Okay. So you would still prefer a fingerprint scanner? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where they're gonna put that. But
I always thought that this was a good spot for it, right there.
yeah, just like your stupid little pixel.
I always just thought that was a good spot for it. That's like, you could keep it as an Apple logo and just that you put your finger there.
I think it defeats the purpose of the sleekness of it, but okay.
I mean, you're the one who throws it in the case anyways. This is our case. Whoops.
Is that funny? Will they laugh at that?
I don't know what they laugh at. I don't get to see their reactions.
Okay.
What do you think of the camera of it?
Sucks.
You think the iPhone X's camera sucks? Why do you think that?
Because compared to your camera, it's really bad.
Okay, just to put it in perspective, most of you guys do know it, but I have the Pixel 2 XL, which does have a great camera. It works, it's just probably the most consistent camera, pretty much no matter what the, lighting is, no matter what the scenario is, it always takes a good photo. And going through some of her photos as well, her pictures are just less consistent. Sometimes it'll be just as good as the Pixel 2 XL, but sometimes it's just not. And that's what she's saying by the camera sucks.
Just show them the pictures of the church.
Okay, I'll show them the
night.
pictures of the church at night.
And show the difference in portrait mode.
Yeah, that's the big thing we've noticed with her iPhone X.
Portrait mode, which is supposed to be like what Apple's known for, is not good on this phone. I just don't think the portrait mode's very good.
Yeah, well, I mean,
slow-mo's cool.
The slow-mo is really good on that, though. We have some good slow-mo shots of the dogs with it, and I thought that was pretty good. But most phones are getting that. Well, they're not quite that good frames per second, though. But, I mean, honestly, how often do you use slow-mo? Once in a blue moon?
I don't know, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. What do you think of Animojis?
I've used them a grand total of like 2 or 3 times, and that's because everyone that I send it to has an Android phone. So everybody gets it as a video. So why bother?
Kind of loses the appeal when the other person doesn't have an iPhone X.
Why bother?
Yeah, that's true. On a daily experience, what bothers you about the phone?
Well, I don't like that the Apple Calendar doesn't have multiple colors when you want to schedule something. It doesn't give you that option. So like I've got, we're in December. Next week I have lunch with my friend Allison, and I had to put it in purple because that's what my work calendar's color is. But if I've got, nope, that one's purple too. Oh, that's at work as well.
Oh, you can only change the colors based on
You don't get to change the
calendar.
Well, I mean, it's not like you get to purposely change it.
Okay.
But like our dog's heartworm prevention, it's in blue because I'm at home when that's gonna happen. So, but that's the only colors I get to have. I don't know why. I don't know if people get different colors or whatever. Maybe you have to like make more calendars or something. I don't know how that works. But you don't, like on Android, on my Note 5, I could like go into a day and I could hit the little button and I could make a new event, and they had a whole palette that I could press colors from. And then if I go to my Photos app, I don't like how I like this album thing they've got, but if you just go to Photos, they've got this like collection stuff, and it's really hard to use based on where you are. I don't know why, but I don't like that. But my biggest complaint is that when you go into your normal Photos album and you're like scrolling through your photos, the photos you've taken most recent are at the bottom, and on my Android phone they're at the top, and so I like catch myself scrolling the opposite direction every now and then because I haven't fully adapted, and it's just annoying. Okay. Oh, and you can't, when you like tap a photo, so like here's our engagement, one of our engagement photos, So, oh, cute. If you like try to like look at anything about it, like you try to press edit, like it's just gonna edit the photo. And then, or you have this little weird button down here. I don't even know what that button's called. But
oh, that's the share button.
Yeah, whatever. But you get a few options, but like there's not really, like you can press, I thought more would get me info. So you press more, but that is not what it gets you. It gets you, oh crap, it gets you even more stuff.
So what you're looking for is like
I'm
the
looking
details
for,
or the info about the photo.
Yeah, like where, I mean, and not where was it taken, because it can tell you that somewhere else. But like, it doesn't tell you anything about the photo at all. My next app I hate is Clock. Clock is my most hated app, I think. And that's because I use it every day for my alarm clock. But like, okay, so like, first off, let's talk about how a snooze is 9 minutes. Who does a 9-minute snooze? And you can't edit that. On an Android phone, you can pick how many minutes you want your snooze for. Literally, it gives you so many options of how many snoozes, like it does you can say how long you want your snooze for, and you can say how many times you want it to let you snooze before it doesn't let you press snooze anymore.
Yeah.
On this phone, you don't get that. So, also, on an Android phone, all you have to do is tap the frickin' clock and it'll go into the edit mode, and you can very politely press in what hour or minute you would like to wake up. But on this phone, instead, you have to press edit, and then finally when it pops up with these little red dots, then you can press what you want. And then you can sit there like a caveman and scroll through to pick what time you want to wake up. Do you know how inconvenient that is when you want to set it for a different time after you've already woken up, but your like eyes are like barely awake and like you're barely awake? And so like you have to like sit there and really focus. And I don't want to have to do that. And I don't like that because it takes forever. And like if you miss it, you missed it. You better just scroll through some more. Don't like that.
Most of their arguments to that, just coming from my perspective, would be that you can always download a different app, for your clock. But I also have
that defeats the purpose of even having the apps on the phone then.
That's true. And the one argument I would have to back you up on that is that
Poke me.
the one argument I would have to back you up on that is that on an iPhone, you can't set the defaults. So like if you were to ask Siri, set an alarm clock, it's always gonna use this app, even if you do add a different alarm clock app.
I don't like that you can't set defaults to stuff. So to like bypass that, I turned off cellular to Safari because I hate Safari. So if it doesn't have cellular, it can't search anything. So I just use Chrome and I downloaded it because I hate Safari.
Yeah.
And I hate settings. It's like so confusing. I don't know, it's just so much more confusing than my Android phone. Like there's just so many little tiny things that go into it. And like you have to know exactly where it is to like know what to go to. It's just very confusing. I don't like that. I don't like notes. Notes pisses me off a lot. But it pisses me off too because I think I came from a stylus and I was able to just do it on my actual screen and then push it in and boop, that's all I had to do and it was saved and I didn't have to touch it. So like now I have to like press something and I have to like go and like actually type. Oh, and I hate how when you're type something and you're like trying to do something, you have to like hold it down. Oh, that doesn't do it. Oh crap. See, look, I messed it up. See, that's not what I wanted and I don't know how to fix that. Oops.
Oh.
But you have, when you like go to like, if you want to like put like your cursor in the middle of a word because you spelled it wrong and it didn't correct it for some reason, instead, you have to hold it and then it shows you that little magnifying glass and then you can move it across the word. You can't just hit the middle of the word. You would like on Android, you can tap the center of the word or whatever behind whatever letter.
To get close and then you can move it.
And then just backspace or whatever.
Yeah.
But on this one, you can only go before the word and after the word. You can't go smack dab in the middle where you messed up on the spelling. And then I also hate that the 3D touch, is that what it's called?
Force touch.
Force touch,
Originally,
3D touch?
Originally it was called 3D touch, and then they changed it to force touch. So you were actually kind of right.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't like that. I'm not very good at it, so that's one thing. Oh, their calculator sucks. It absolutely sucks. How do you can't see history, right? Because
no, I don't think so.
Yeah, you can't see the history of the stuff you've done.
Unless it's like a force touch or something like that.
Yeah, error. Yeah, you can't do it.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, as an accountant, that sucks. I need to see the history of what I've just done. So I can't see it. It's like I'm sitting there and I'm just trying to reconcile this account and I'm doing math and I'm like, oh, let me see what I just did. Oh, but you can't. So you're just like, all right, so it's useless. It's the most useless calculator ever. It's literally for people who just need to go 2 + 2. That's all it's for.
Does it
Maybe
have
if you're
scientific?
doing a tip or something at a restaurant, that's acceptable.
Does it have scientific?
I don't know. I don't turn that on.
Oh, you have to turn it sideways?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
It gets more scientific, but whatever.
You might get memory or something that way too, but
Don't see it.
yeah, I don't see it either. Interesting. Okay.
I don't even know why you need a compass. I've noticed that when I'm calling people in my office and I'm on the phone with you or like my mom or my sister or something, that the call quality is not as good as it was on my Note 5. It's, I can hear it, it's like fuzzy and it's almost like staticky. And like sometimes if I'm not in the right position, I have to like move to hear you guys again because you go out.
So it's the speaker you're saying, not like you don't think it's the.
It's the call connection, most definitely. It's not.
Oh, you think it's the actual connection?
It's not the speaker. I can tell by it that it's the quality of the call. It's not anything to do with the actual components of the phone.
Huh. Okay. So you think the phone isn't getting as good of a connection as your old phone?
Yeah, it's fuzzy, for a fact. And my mom says repeatedly that it's very difficult to hear me since I got this phone.
Now that could be the microphone or something like that, but.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
I mean, where is the?
She could just be getting old. Oh, I have a MacBook and it has a USB-C port and this has a lightning port. So I can't plug my phone into my own computer and that makes me very angry. I mean, the whole point I thought of having some of this too is that you can have like the whole continuity and you can like plug everything in and it just, it goes here and there. And even without plugging it in, it does that
Yeah, obviously
anyways.
they're pushing more towards wireless. But.
Yeah, but you can't plug it in. So like if I wanted to charge it from my computer while I was in the library studying or something, I can't do that. So I have to get an adapter, which costs money, or I have to just plug in my phone to another outlet with its own independent charger. But I hate this phone so much, I'm returning it. So I'm getting the Pixel 2 XL, which is very funny because it has a USB-C port, so it'll actually be compatible with my MacBook.
Out of the box, actually. It comes with the USB to USB-C, so it'll be able to plug directly into your MacBook.
My own same branded products are not compatible, but a product that I got from a completely different county or
company.
Company.
County.
Company. Talking too fast.
Yeah.
Completely different company doesn't. It works.
Yeah, I always thought it was kind of weird. I mean, because they could totally fit a USB-C port on there. It's not a space requirement.
I don't understand why they didn't. Why would they change their laptops way ahead of their phones? Especially this phone. This phone is the phone they changed everything on. They changed it. There's no Touch ID. There's no home button. There's so many things they changed about this phone, but yet they didn't. What is it even asking me right now? But they didn't change the port. Why wouldn't you change the port when you've changed everything else about the phone? This is supposed to be like the next phone, like the next level phone. This is what all their Apple phones are gonna go towards, and they're not gonna change the port. I just thought that was stupid. My favorite part of what I like about this phone is that when you plug in your headphones with your lightning bolt adapter, that it doesn't ask you or it doesn't tell you that listening to volume too loud will hurt your ears. I appreciate that a lot. I have to say that's my favorite thing about this phone. I just go, oh, and I turn it all the way up and I just jam. Besides the phone itself, what I appreciate is that I called Apple today to return my Apple Care, and they already knew my name because I was calling from my iPhone, and they were like the best customer service that you could have asked for. They were very patient, they were very helpful. Also, when you're calling and they have you on hold, they give you music selection options. So the first option was modern or hip hop music. The second one was like classical, and the third one was jazz. And then, or the fourth option was you could listen and you could just sit there in silence. But I appreciate that they gave you options, so I chose modern or hip hop.
Yeah, they are ranked one of the highest customer service centers in the nation.
It was great. I mean, they're just so kind and so helpful, and like they like ask you for your phone number too in case you get disconnected, so they'll call you back and stuff. It was a really good service. So shout out to Penny for helping me.
So the one thing I know a lot of them are gonna say is that it seems like you're nitpicking on the phone. But I mean, what are your opinions on that? Do you feel like you're nitpicking or?
Well, I paid $1,075 for this phone, not including the case or screen protectors or anything else or adapters that I have to get to plug it into my MacBook. I want every little detail to be absolutely perfect about the phone if I'm going to be using it. Because I don't care about my MacBook and my iPad as much because I don't use them on a daily basis as much as I use my phone. My phone's in my purse. Everywhere I go, I'm pulling it out. I'm using it. I'm looking at it all the time. I'm having to use this calendar to record dates with my friends or work stuff or stuff for my pets and their vet appointments. I want to be able to use exactly what I want. And if it's not even giving me the option of doing that, why would I want to use it?
No, I get it. So you're saying that, like on a MacBook or an iPad, you could deal with some of these little nuanced things that you don't like because you only use it every now and again.
Yeah.
But because it's your phone and it's extremely expensive phone, that you need it to be more perfect because for one, it's expensive, and for two, you're using it every single second of the day, pretty much.
The only time I don't use my phone is probably when I'm sleeping. And even then I am using my phone because I use the white noise app, so. So even then I'm using it. But I don't have to complain about the speakers, they seem fine.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're technically stereo speakers, so.
Kind of loud, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if I'm using it every waking hour though, I want it to be exactly the way I want it. I would like colors in my calendar, and I would like my clock to not be a dumbass.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys liked this semi-unique review. Obviously, you can see here that Jessie has her new Pixel 2 XL. I'll be moving everything.
The color white.
I'll be moving everything over for her tonight and everything. And hopefully she'll like that phone. Maybe we'll do another video of her experience with the Pixel 2 XL after a week.
If they want me to.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want her to review the Pixel 2 XL. Maybe she can give a different perspective than I gave on mine. So we'll definitely go from there. This is Zach and Jessie with Next Tech News. See ya. You want to say see ya?
I said bye.
Okay, that works. See ya.